Hi, I'm Bob, your host for this episode. This time, we're at the Tokorozawa Sakura Town here in Tokorozawa City, Saitama Prefecture. Now, that is quite the prominent building, isn't it? This building that looks like a huge slab of rock coming out of the ground, that is the Kadokawa Culture Museum. Now, it was designed by Kengo Kuma. He's a world-renowned architect. He's famous for his work on the National Stadium. This is a completely new cultural concept building here in the Tokorozawa Sakura Town. This whole thing, it combines a library, it combines an art museum, a regular museum, and well, let's be honest, it's quite the eye-catching landmark building here for this Tokorozawa Sakura Town. Now, it's a museum that is unlike any museum around the world, right? Because it's joining a lot of these ideas, different genres across literature and art and natural history. Today, we want to check out the exhibit BL Evolution, from pioneers to global phenomenon. So let's not waste any time. Let's get inside.
今回展示を担当した伊藤です。漫画ラノベ図書館には約3万7000冊の漫画や児童書ライトノベルが並んでいます。4階エディットタウンではブックストリートと呼ばれる本の通りに約2万5000冊の図書と奥に本棚劇場というエリアがありまして、そちらには約2万冊の本が並んでいます。ブックストリートや本棚劇場にも漫画や小説などがたくさん並んでいて、館内全体で一日お楽しみいただけると思います。近年ボーイズラブ作品が国内国外問わず人気があって、これまで小説とか漫画で展開されていたものがドラマや映画などで見ることができるようになっています。この展示ではボーイズラブについて最近ドラマなどで知ったけどあまりよく知らないっていう人や、あともともとボーイズラブ好きだった人、どちらにも楽しんでもらえるように1970年代後半に刊行された女性向けボーイズラブ専門誌であるジュネを起点にジュネ、ヤオイ、BL と3つの時代を紹介しております。ファンの方々は皆さんとても楽しんでいただいていて、サテライト会場での投票コーナーでもメイン会場の感想コーナーにもたくさん楽しみましたっていう感想もいただけて本当にありがたい限りです。ミュージアムのホームページで日本語、英語、中国語、韓国語で展示のページを作っております。かなり詳しく紹介されているのでそちらをご覧いただけると嬉しいです。また SNS で Twitter などで英語や中国語でもツイートを出していて、そちらもぜひ見ていただきたいです。この展示に来てくださってボーイズラブのことを初めて知った人でちょっと興味を持ってくださった方がいたりとか、あとちょっとボーイズラブから離れていたけどまた読みたいなとかまた見たいなって思ってくれる人がいらっしゃって、でこれからますますまたボーイズラブのジャンルが盛り上がっていったらすごく嬉しいなと思います。
BL stands for Boys Love. In the 1990s, the culture of boys love spread dramatically, especially among women, with a boom in the publication of the first BL magazines using that term, Boys Love. And then various masterpieces became known throughout the world through movies, dramas, animation, and other medium, and has now become an established entertainment genre. And do you like comics?
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of manga tattoos and those kind of things. I mean, I'm not that into.
On your body? Is that
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
I mean, mostly mainstream things, One Piece, Dragon Ball,
So I mean,
stuff like that.
This kind of comic, I don't know if you were finding out.
I'm not that familiar. I know that it exists, this kind of genre theme in mangas, but I'm not that familiar with specifically these kind of stories.
The Boys Love.
Yeah.
It's a story about two men instead of a woman. So it's Was that kind of surprising to you to kind of think that's in Japan, you know?
No, because as I told you, I already know that this exists, and I also saw sometimes fan-made drawings and stuff with more famous characters.
Putting them together.
Yeah. So I know that it exists, but I'm not that familiar specifically in these titles.
And one other question, not about the manga, not about the comic books, but when you saw the building from the outside, what did you think?
No, it's amazing.
What exactly was the
I mean,
part of
it's mesmerizing, the shapes, the way that it's built, and also this kind of a structure in this kind of neighborhood that is, like more flat and quiet, and it's
surprising, isn't it?
It's surprising.
Same for me. My first time coming here, and when I saw the building on the outside, I knew I was in treat for like some kind of nice experience inside, so I'm hoping you're feeling that same nice experience.
We're all living that now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And where are you from, by the way?
Argentina.
Wow, excellent. Well, it's very close to Japan, so I'm sure.
Super close.
Yeah,
just
it wasn't a long
30 hours
trip.
away.
It's just
super
quick
short flight.
And you're in. I mean, the history of BL, of course, it goes back a long way. And the history for the comics to be introduced, it really starts in the 1970s, and grows a little bit more popular in 1978 and into the 80s, and it really hits that peak there. But you can see this history from 1970 until today, across this whole wall, 50 years of history. Well, that is pretty incredible. I mean, it's one thing you can notice being here, seeing these comics from the 1970s, already with the artwork just being a much higher quality than you would expect to see from that long ago. And the quality stays fantastic. It just gets better as you go down the years. That's really quite amazing to see. So we're talking about the Yaoi leading to this kind of subculture movement, which leads to coupling. And you hear coupling in English, you might not know exactly what it means, but it's taking two fictional characters from already established manga or comic books and using your own ideas, fans' own ideas, of how they would exist in this world of BL. And that is extremely interesting, had a huge boom, and that boom continues today. And the fan fiction is probably just going to get more and more creative. It's cool to see the beginning of it and how much it boomed here, especially in the 80s. It's really fascinating. So in the 90s was when the word or the term boys love was actually born. So before that, it wasn't actually called boys love. And this is what happens sometimes in Japan, using the English words and not necessarily using the same meaning that we might think of. So it's not just boys love. It's a story between the romance of two men or men together. And so it has all different ages. But this is the first moment where it becomes boys love, using that word, that terminology in the 90s, and then it grew from there. An interesting thing too, it's the side note. In this museum, in this exhibition, there's a lot of kind of dark spaces. That's just to protect this original artwork that we can see in this museum. Too much light would take that away. And one thing you'll probably find only here in Japan is just the overwhelming mix of media that is used, all the way from, well, books, novels, cassette tapes, compact disc, laser discs, all the way up into video games, DVDs, and then of course motion pictures. It's just an incredible array of media that is used for this genre. And the one thing about the comics here in Japan is they have a little obi, it's kind of at the bottom of the comic, and it's like a cover in a way, but it gives you an extra reason to want to read that magazine or that comic, and we can't actually tell you what it says. You'll need to figure that out for yourself and experience it for yourself, but boy, does it get right to the point sometimes. Wow. Now, some people might say this is a kind of a small culture or subculture genre, but you can see behind me this world map, and there are just places for people to gather for this genre, for this BL genre, all over the world. Can't really call it small when it's everywhere. So there's a board, you can leave a message from all around the world about what you thought of when you came here, or what you thought of the genre. So I just wrote, I learned a lot about BL, and it's a very important genre. So thanks. So much love from around the world. Boys Love is a fictional genre that deals with the romance between men. And it has a history in Japan, well, just about as long as Japan's history is, and it's a very deep history. I learned a lot today, and I hope you did as well. Traditionally, BL has been developed through novels or manga, but recently it's starting to be developed in more of the visual arts, and we see the high quality stories being told not only in Japan but from all over the world. And that is something that will probably attract me and a lot of other people to this new genre. And going through and interviewing people, and what I learned today is that this is a new and exciting genre. And it's interesting, you know, to see something different from the normal male-female romance. But it's not only that, it's the quality of the work that is produced through the manga, through the animation, now through the movies and films and other medium. And of course the manga, the animation, that's something very deeply connected to Japan, and that makes it even more interesting. So if you have the time, next time you're in Japan, of course, do check out the genre of boys' life and enjoy it as much as I have here today.